Hey, this is Chris with Destination Art, and today I have a short video where I am painting some little watercolor flowers. I've been watching this one YouTuber who is so fabulous, and so I'm trying to learn from her and practice. So this morning I decided to try to use her technique, and some of it is a lot of wet on wet techniques and letting things dry. And then I also did this technique with these transparent petals, which are completely awesome. So I started with a pink rose, and the trick is for this one is to make sure you have your shapes proper, but then also to add enough depth of color. So you use a really wet wash and then you add some color at the, in one side to sort of make it interesting. And that leaf right there, I didn't like the way that I had painted the tip because it was too straight, and so I soaked up some of the water that was on there and fixed it, which is one of the good things about watercolor. I always say watercolor is like a 2-year-old. You can't turn your back on it. But anyway, so I decided to paint another rose, this time in more orange colors. And so the trick is with roses is to leave a lot of white space so there's interest, but then also to build the complexity in the center with just some random kind of circular shapes. Tried to do a rose bud this time, which that was a little bit of an experiment. I wasn't exactly sure what I was doing with that one. So anyway, I kind of like how it turned out. So I am trying to create an interesting composition with this floral. I'm still practicing. This is something new for me. And I chose to use landscape format. Oh, I bought new watercolor paper too. So this is a Canson 140-pound watercolor block, and it's way better than the stuff that I was using in my earlier videos. If you go back and watch, I complained about that a lot. Okay, so now I'm trying to put in a different type of flower, sort of 5-petal flower. The YouTuber I watch, she's so awesome, but she also has all the names of these flowers, and I've got no idea. It's just a 5-petal flower. So still using her technique though, which is laying down some sort of transparent light colors and then tapping in some darker colors. And that allows the watercolor to do its magic. I was lifting up some of the water between 2 petals. I had them touching when I didn't want them to be. Here I'm adding a different color, some yellow and oranges to the center. And then when I add the leaves and the stems, it's really nice if you touch just a little bit, so there's a little bit of mixing. You can see that with the orange rose. And trying to add more flowers. Shapes are important. When you see the finished finished painting, it reminds me a lot of kind of like the heart shape, the outline of the composition that I created. So I think when I go back and work this a little bit more later, I think I'm going to emphasize that with some leaves and stuff and really make it look like a heart shape. Now I'm adding a purple rose to the bottom. Same technique, just making sure you use C-curves and a lot of complexity and leaving a lot of white space. That's the exciting part of this. I think florals is one of the ways that watercolor really shines. When I'm using, I do landscape art a lot, and one of the things I've noticed is I have a tendency to try to paint everything with the same importance, and I need to stop doing that. I watched a YouTuber the other day that talked about how to really just paint the focal point like it's a focal point and really putting all your details right there. So that is one of the things I'll be working on with my landscape paintings coming up, but I'm taking a break from landscapes, especially since I've found Emma. I can't pronounce her last name yet. Anyway, her stuff is amazing. If I think about it, I'll try to link it below. So, okay, so now I'm trying to do her transparent petals, transparent petal flowers. It's completely amazing, this technique. So you paint your petals and you let them completely dry. And then you paint over them. And you're using these light washes. And like I said, you're adding the color like she teaches. But when you do the light wash like that and when it dries and then you put the next petal over top of it, you can see the petals underneath, and it's amazing. It's so beautiful, and I'm so happy that I watched her video and learned how to do that. Okay, so I had to let everything dry and came back, and now I'm putting on the second petals. Oh, I'm adding just a little bit of yellow flowers just to add some interest. I will go back. I'm not finished with this painting yet, but I will go back and add leaves and stuff to fill it out, but I'm adding some yellow flowers to fill it out a little bit. And some detail in the center of that one flower. There we go. There are the other petals. A heat tool or a blow dryer would help speed up the drying process, but I haven't gotten one of those yet. For once, I'm actually trying to be smart. I'm not trying to buy too many supplies at one time. Of course, you know, I bought that pad of paper and some new paintbrushes the other day, which was exciting. I really was happy about that. But now I have to wait before I buy anything else. So I'm adding the transparent leaves with the other two leaves. I just love that technique. I'm so happy that I learned that. Okay, so this one I'm trying to just add another purple kind of cone flower up there. And when I walked away and actually made some tea, it was awesome. And I had everything too wet. And so when I added a little bit of green, it's mixed with all the purple, which gives you kind of a black color. So I had to take a paper towel and wipe it all up, and it's really light right now, but I think that's okay. I added a couple more spots where I'm going to put transparent flowers. All right,